What do you think about the importance of a television festival?
Oh, well, since it is basically the last surviving television festival, it's terrific and necessary, and it's the only time outside of press tour where you get this many reporters who are focused on television. And it's even bigger in some senses because it's the world. I mean, TCA is twice a year, but it's in Los Angeles, and it's basically American reporters with some foreign publications and bloggers, but it's an American experience. This gets the whole world, and it's been a very important stop, obviously, for me and the Chicago shows, because you're here and then they're coming out in September. So it's a good chance for people to sample them and know what's coming.
Do you have a favorite memory of Monaco?
I think this is my 20th year in a row, so they all sort of meld together. It's just a great place to spend a week every early part of the summer. It's very hard to complain. I remember when it was in February.
So here you're premiering Chicago Med.
Yes.
The next step in the Chicago franchise, why the desire to go into the hospital terrain?
Well, it's the territory of not only doctors but first responders, and that's been the focus of all the shows, are the people that live there and on a day-to-day basis save your life. It's not a bad group of people to write about and show, and the fact that now they're all going to continue the sort of seamless interlinks between the shows, it's a great deal of fun.
When we were on stage the other day, the actors were saying how much you take care of them.
Well,
Why are you such a caring producer?
Well, if you look at the cast, I have older children that are older than a lot of the cast members, so you do sort of have, it has an unfortunately negative connotation, but it's really a paternalistic attitude that it is a family, and anybody, even reporters who go there, are struck by how close the casts actually are. And I told them on Fire when they started, you better make friends with each other because you're going to be here through a very long winter, and you don't have you're not native Chicagoans, and it worked. And when a tone was set, it carried over to PD, and then it's carried over to medical, and I think it's going to be carried over to justice. So it's extremely satisfying, but it's a mutual support network.
How do you go about figuring which actors will be on, for example, the next one, Chicago Justice? Do you have them do guests on the other shows? Is there a way of testing them?
Phil Winchester, who's the lead prosecutor, has done several other shows. I sort of knew him, but he had no connection to any of the shows. He came in. He's a huge favorite of Bob Greenblatt's as well as mine. So when the name came up, it seemed perfect casting for us.
How about finding the secret to a franchise? We were talking about this on stage as well. I know it's hard to say a secret. There is no secret. But why is the Chicago thing working?
Well, because it's very hard in commercial television to actually do something that's never been done before. But this has never been done before, that there has never been this kind of interactivity between related shows. That Tom Fontana and I basically came up with the idea of crossovers 25 years ago when we did Law and Order and Homicide, and we did those for 2 years in a row, and they were the two highest rated episodes each year, and it never went away, that this really works if you can get the synergy of multiple shows working together. And of course, Richard Belzer then came from Homicide to SVU, and now John Seda came from Homicide into PD. So it's definitely a very long-term relationship that bore a lot of fruit.
I think when Chicago Justice gets on the air, you'll be at some sort of personal record, won't you? 5 shows?
5 shows, yeah. We've had 4 before, but never 5.
How do you feel about that?
It's great. It gets you up in the morning. It's a no. It's a gift that it worked, and that's inordinately satisfying in a business where about 95% of everything fails. So it feels pretty good.
In addition to producing, you've also written. Do you have any desire to be an actor?
Oh, I did that once. I didn't like it.
What was it?
I wrote a picture called Masquerade with Rob Lowe and a bunch of other people in the 80s, and we were way out on Long Island at a marina, and a yacht owner, the actor, didn't show up, and the director, Bob Swaim, said, well, you do it. I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not an actor. He said, it's 4 lines. And I did it, and really sucked. So, haven't done that again.
It's all right. I think your day job is doing
Yes,
just fine. Great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Perfect.